I wanted to build like a clothing brand, and that's still something that I aspire to do one day and work towards and continue learning, kind of have that as like a passion project further on. And I always designed t-shirts. I would sell t-shirts in school, and that's like where I started my first hustle. Like I would literally print the most random t-shirts, and I'd go like try and hustle them to my friends in fucking middle school cafeteria, try and make 10, 20 bucks. I would lose money, and I would be like, whatever, like new design, let's go. Let's keep whipping it up. Honestly, I was just like tapping into different ways to find traffic for the business. Like obviously we have these ideas and products we want to sell. And I'm like, shit, well, how can I get people here? I'm on Instagram every day, and I'm figuring, well, why don't I use this person's page or, hit them up, be like, hey, can you share this on your story? Yeah. And in doing so, that kind of parlayed into actually putting out a course, and ended up launching Influencer Marketing Academy with Dan. We did millions on that and kind of really put a flagpole in the space saying like, hey, like this is real. You could actually leverage other people's following to make money. D2C brands, we were spending millions on Facebook annually for years now. And that's sort of what transitioned over to the latest project I've been working on, which is with AI. And
the agency still exists?
In like a year or two without too much like friction, processor holds, what would you recommend that they do?
Definitely the affiliate side of things is the lowest friction, because you don't have to worry about fulfillment. All you have to do is get traffic to an offer that converts. So there are so many other complications that come with you're fulfilling your own product. You have support, actually delivering it if it's a physical item. So I think affiliate is definitely the easiest way if you have no idea what you're doing and just want to like figure out how to get it. It's like the equivalent of being a sales rep, right? Like all you have to do is sell this product. And then after that, your hands are clean. Welcome to episode 25 of New Money Talks. Let's go.
Yeah.
This is like the first one. We're all fucking fucked on this one.
We're all a little bit fried.
Everyone's fried.
Everyone's out till till the time that you probably woke up this morning. But
this won't be good though. This should be.
It's a nice chill Sunday. We got our friend Anthony Mastellone here, Tony.
Pleasure to be here.
We've probably known each other for like 4 years now because we met through Dan, but we don't know each other too well, so we'll be getting to know each other
like 4 minutes. So
John will be
nice to meet you, bro.
John and Tony will be getting to know each other a little bit more. But we just had a little bit of our prerequisite conversations as we do. But I want to crack into who Anthony Mastellone really is, because most of the people who are watching, whether they're in the e-commerce space or not, they probably don't know who you are. So if you we like to say if you walked up to someone in a bar last night at Somewhere Nowhere, you walk up to someone, you walk up to Mac McClung, and he's
McClung.
like, he's like, hey, like, who are you? Like, what do you do? Like, what do you say?
Elevator pitch, boom. E-com and paid advertising, and also software. So now dabbling in the AI space, which is something I've been really keen on, but started when I was 19. I got into the e-com space. I was just like in college, kind of lost, trying to figure out what the hell I wanted to do. And through a lot of, trial and error and whatnot, trying to figure out what I actually want to do to be free and not just like sit in a fucking classroom and do stuff that doesn't matter to me. Of course, came across e-com. Dan was the one that actually put me on to e-commerce initially because, we were friends since high school. And at that point, moving forward, got a taste of that whole digital realm, and that opened up everything. So we started working together a long time ago. And from there on, the rest was history. I got really obsessed with building brands, really more than anything else, figuring out how to get paid traffic through Instagram was one of the first moves that was made, really. And tapping into influencers, understanding that whole space, paid shout outs, and showing people how to do that. So, we sold info products on that and started implementing to our own brands. So their paid advertising agency and, building brands and also software.
Yeah. So Dan kind of told us that in your relationship, whether it's now or in the past, that he was always sometimes the mastermind behind certain ideas, and he could always count on you to be like the executor. And sometimes it would be vice versa, because I've seen him in monk mode times where he's just like zoning the world out. And I feel like you've been a little bit more, in tune with the world and easier to get in touch with.
You seem a lot more of a normal person than Dan. When I met you, I walk in, I'm like, what the hell am I supposed to expect? And I'm like, yo, this kid's like, this is a homie. Dan's a homie, but he's also like a little slow.
But sometimes slow, sometimes fast.
Yeah, but, you don't even know what you're going to get.
Yeah, as far as like the executional side of things go, like, I guess where did that start? Because you said you did go to college. So I want to figure out where did that entrepreneurialism and that executor like mindset start out?
I barely finished college.
But you did graduate.
I did.
Nice.
I did. I was sitting on my laptop, like running ads during like every class. My teachers were not a fan of me because I would show up and really be like head in the clouds. But I definitely got that from my mom. So that's where it was instilled into me. And I got a better idea of like, okay, let's take life by the fucking horns and really like pave your own path. If you want it, get it, and you can. So she definitely instilled that in me because I saw her building her business in like commercial painting and construction. So it was actually really funny. Growing up, I would go into her office and she'd bring me into work and I would just make up my own payroll. I was like, all right, this guy's getting this much a week and for, nothing. Of course, I named my own company. Like I just wanted to do that. And that's definitely what got me going.
That's funny. That's cool. Cause like, I feel like a lot of people's upbringings influence like where they go or what directions they take. And sometimes it's like polar opposites. Like you're either like polar opposite of your parents or like you follow in your footsteps or like take a slight different direction. But what did your dad do? So your mom had like this kind of painting / construction based company. What did your dad do out of curiosity?
It's actually really funny because I turned out to be what I feel like would be a happy medium between them both because my dad is big in operations and corporate dining, working with like Union Square Hospitality and Danny Meyer now, which is fantastic. Made a lot of great connections through that. But he's almost like the operational, great interpersonal skills, buttoned up, well together approach. And my mom is like the nitty gritty, like get shit done.
Yeah.
I'm going to, get my hands dirty and make it happen no matter what. So I feel like I'm a little bit of a mix between the two, which I'm blessed to have both of them in my life. And like that brought me to this point. So that's definitely what the mix was for sure.
Cool. So shout out Dan because he kind of put you onto e-commerce and everything.
Yeah.
But what was the timeline on e-commerce in terms of like when you got into it and when you actually started to see a little bit of success? And like, were there any trials and tribulations between when you got started, hit that first success, and then like maybe ate shit for a little bit and then got back into it? Like, talk to me about like the timeline on that, because I know like entrepreneurship, all of us, it's never a linear path. There's always the fucking ups and downs and sideways.
Yeah. So it was a lot of experimenting at first, and actually a little bit before e-commerce. It was more of like the affiliate and JV space. So I don't know if you guys are familiar with JV Zoo.
Yeah.
What is JV? No,
joint venture. So like affiliate marketing type stuff. So like you put out, digital products and
like ClickBank type of stuff. You're talking about.
Precisely.
Yeah.
So that was where I first started dabbling in things with digital marketing. And that's where I first started to see like, okay, you could actually make money from wherever you are and do whatever you want. Like you could figure it the fuck out. And from there, it kind of rolled over into e-commerce. When I was in high school, like I loved clothes and I wanted to build like a clothing brand. And that's still something that I aspire to do one day and work towards and continue learning and kind of have that as like a passion project further on. And I always designed t-shirts. I would sell t-shirts in school, and that's like where I started my first hustle. Like I would literally print the most random t-shirts and I'd go like try and hustle them to my friends in fucking middle school cafeteria, try and make 10, 20 bucks. I would lose money and I would be like, whatever, like new design, let's go. Let's keep whipping it up. And from there, that was like my original passion where I was like, okay, I want to make stuff and like, paint my own canvas here. And we started in the affiliate space. Then that rolled over to e-commerce. And I was like, okay, so you can make money by referring people to stuff. That makes sense. So like, I want to sell my own products. I want to build stuff. So getting into e-commerce, I had no money at the time. I was 19. I was in college. I was like, what in the hell could I do to get traffic? Like I got a maxed out credit card and like I want to hit happy hour and whatnot. You have nothing to your name, right? So the main thing was, how can I do this for free? And it ended up being with Instagram. So like sending free products to people, paid shout outs. And it's funny because like even some of these like small granular details that you're running when you have nothing still work at scale when you do have the money. It's the meaningful stuff that counts, where you're doing that meaningful one-on-one outreach and not diluting your processes. But sending free products to people, like brokering shout outs for like $30, $50 or $100 when you don't know like what to do or how to get traffic. And that opened up the e-commerce realm and figuring out how to use, other people's influence to bridge the gap and sell your own product.
So you didn't start with ads then? You started with like IG promos.
I did.
Like that. Interesting. How'd you even find that? Like, cause like I know Dan's like big in ads. Like how'd you even find like IG promos and shit?
Honestly, I was just like tapping into different ways to find traffic for the business. Like obviously we have these ideas and products we want to sell. I'm like, shit, well, how can I get people here? I'm on Instagram every day and I'm figuring, well, why don't I use this person's page or, hit them up, be like, hey, can you share this on your story?
Yeah.
And in doing so, that kind of parlayed into actually putting out a course and ended up launching Influencer Marketing Academy with Dan, we did millions on that and kind of really put a flagpole in the space saying like, hey, like this is real. You could actually leverage other people's following to make money. And then from there, it just caught on like wildfire. So we were showing people how to do that and recreating it over and over and over again. And then once you have enough money from the free stuff or like the small shout outs here and there, then I started to get really passionate about media buying and running Facebook traffic to the point where building an agency and, we're spending millions per year. And I was like, this is actually fun. Like I like the analytics. I like dealing with people. I like being creative and working with different offers, which has then brought us to where we are now, building, scaling brands and finding solutions for different offers that we want to build.
I'm curious, early on, were your friends who were in the space, were they helpful or were they just like, nah, like they didn't really want to show you anything? I'm actually curious.
Who did you, I guess, learn from, or did you guys
did you have to bother them a lot, or like
was
they
YouTube
just like
as prevalent as it is now?
Or were they just like, here's all like the sauce, just like copy it type of thing?
So there were a few people that were definitely helpful. It's a mixed bag. Like there are people that are open to it, and those are the ones that you kind of have to hold near and dear to you and like appreciate them, because not everyone is willing to give their time to help other people.
I asked that because like when I got put onto ecom, the person put me on wouldn't even help me. I had to like force it out of the guy. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
And that happens a lot when people are like, oh, like I think I have like a secret sauce, I don't want to like share it. I'm curious in like your realm of like people where they're just like, yo, like here's everything, just like you got it. Like
a little bit of both.
But I would bag a lot of it on trial and error, and then just getting in the right rooms.
Yeah.
And then you do meet those people, and the ones that are willing to share it are the ones that have nothing to lose, are not greedy, and they're the right people that you want to learn from. The people that keep it close to the chest, they're the ones that are nervous and wondering like, all right, where's my next dollar coming from? So that's a totally different mindset where if you have nothing to lose, like obviously the table's big enough. We could all eat.
Yeah.
And, you being one more advertiser, selling a product similar to mine or utilizing a Facebook ad strategy is not going to kill my business.
Yeah, it's a fart in the wind.
Especially if you're fucking good at what you do. You're trying to like empty the ocean with a teaspoon. You know what I mean? Like, so if you know your shit, you'll share it. And those are probably the right people to learn from.
100%. Damn. And so you started an agency too?
So growing a variety of D2C brands. We were spending millions on Facebook annually for years now. And that's sort of what transitioned over to the latest project I've been working on, which is with AI. And
the agency still exists?
Yeah.
What's the agency called?
Rainmark. It's just like, our holding company is Rain Marketing. So, we're still serving brands, but more behind the scenes. I've scaled back the agency more to focus on the software play that we're focusing on, which is incorporating AI. Because in creating the agency, being like that media focus, I love running ads, and I still do to this day. So like, I love looking at analytics. I like optimizing things and pulling different levers to make stuff work. Because you guys run brands, you understand that the biggest lever that you can pull is creative and different offers.
Yeah.
So in doing so, I was trying to like solve a problem for, a media buyer or a brand owner. What do you need to do to actually win? Which is, more volume.
Yeah.
So AI obviously popped off, and we're trying to figure out how can we do things. And I thought, I was like, you know what? I'm sitting in my ads manager. I hate writing copy. So yeah, you could use ChatGPT to like spin up some stuff and like write a poem in Dr. Seuss style, but like it's not built for clicks and conversions. Like you need more sauce to it to actually make it work. So I was like, what can I do to just like build a low friction product for something that I would use for myself. So like selfishly enough, I built it for myself to end up utilizing. And then, I'm sure there are other people that get value from it. And that's how I came up with the AI software AdCopy.Ai.
Interesting. And then how'd you build this fucking thing? Because it's like
software. I have a
you're not a coder.
Like I have a product research software that I've been working on since 2022 that we had we periodically launched. We had some like issues because we were just kind of cheap on development. Like we never had that like multi-5-6 figures that we could just throw into software to develop it out. So we had we were scrappy. Like we had cheaper development teams. We had people that were working on us with on an intern basis where they were helping us plug in like the affiliate backends and all this shit. But there's a lot that goes into software, and ours isn't really even like a software. It's just like putting things together nicely on a website that moves dynamically when you click buttons. Yeah. So like what you're doing is like something totally different.
I took a hybrid approach on it. So I partnered with my developer. He's a great friend of mine. I've known for years. Shout out to Lucas. Just got our first customers yesterday because we went live.
Congrats.
Thank you. And he's been crushing it, and being able to sort of de-risk and work with someone that's committed to your North Star goal is really good, because obviously you can always hire a developer an hourly rate, no matter if they're top tier $150 an hour, or someone that you're getting that is, $30, $40 an hour in a perhaps like a third world country or something. But no one is going to be as invested in, the success unless they have skin in the game. Like
equity or something.
Yeah, no one's going to be equally invested as you. Like they're not going to want to win like you do. So I partnered with a developer, felt that was a really strong play, and he really spearheaded a lot of development. And then we also hired some people as well that are part-time. So being able to have him build a lot of the foundation and learning a lot on my end to build the ops and marketing side, we were able to, ship a product in less than 60 days.
If we could ask you how much you invest into like the whole project so far.
It's been pretty lean. So it's like low 5 figures.
Oh, nice. Yeah. That's nothing. Got you.
Yeah. Yeah. Ours has always been like under 5 figures, but like we're getting there. We're getting to where the point where we see the value in investing more into that stuff. And obviously as it changed, like you need to keep them on standby because things are always going to be improving, and you always want to have updates and stuff. But so for people who are watching or listening, there's gonna be a lot of younger guys, maybe guys in their upwards of 30s, 40s that are like looking to just get started with something. And there's 3 things we talked about so far, like, and you've done all 3 of them. One of them is sell your own products. One of them is sell a service to other people that are presumably selling other products or whatever it might be. And then the third one is selling other people's product, right? So like affiliate marketing versus like e-commerce versus like, let's say agency, or software, et cetera. Like with the exception of like, we're not talking like day trading or like software, right? We're talking selling your own products, building a brand, affiliate marketing, or service-based businesses out of all 3. And we ask this question a lot and we get like very similar and yet different answers. Like, what would you recommend someone who's like starting out in entrepreneurship or e-commerce, or like, you're not e-commerce, but in entrepreneurship, they want to build a business,
build like $100K in their bank account. Like, what's the fastest way?
Within like a year or two, without too much like friction, processor holds, whatever. Like, what would you recommend that they do?
Definitely the affiliate side of things is the lowest friction, because you don't have to worry about fulfillment. All you have to do is get traffic to an offer that converts. So there are so many other complications that come with you're fulfilling your own product. You have support, actually delivering it if it's a physical item. So I think affiliate is definitely the easiest way if you have no idea what you're doing and just want to like figure out how to get it. It's like the equivalent of being a sales rep, right? Like all you have to do is sell this product. And then after that, your hands are clean.
There's no real risk.
So run me through how this like ClickBank affiliate thing works, right? So like there's ClickBank, all these offers on here, right? And then how do you like connect your bank accounts, like these random, like how do you know that they're going to pay you if you get them to sell? And how do they even know that you got them to sell? So
ClickBank is a purveyor of that. So they are the middleman that serves like, all right, they connect the people that have the offer and the advertisers, and they hold the funds and will deliver it once the sales are made. And when you're doing it at a high level, really in all reality, you want to connect with the offer owners directly, and that's where you get the biggest bang for your buck. But ClickBank is sort of like, in a sense, the escrow service, and also the person that will connect the 2 sides of the deal so that it actually happens. So, tremendously valuable, but, you can go on any of those sites and figure out what offers are working. But the real sauce, and when you actually start making good money and understanding how to do it at scale, is connecting with the offer owners directly, getting like specific CPAs that are bumped up.
Like exclusive networks.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Interesting.
Yeah. But you're selling other people's shit, and like they track it through like UTMs or
quick questions. Like, do they give you all the ad creatives? Like, you have to make your own ad creatives and all this type of shit too?
It varies on the offer, but typically when you could differentiate, like if we were all given the same 3 like sets of resources here, and like we're like, all right, go sell this product, who do you think is going to win? The people that have like the same shit and they're all trying to push the same shit, or you're going to go out and make your own creatives and like take it to the next level? You could always utilize their like very like templated shit, but really making your own is where you're going to make good money.
Are you comfortable talking about like what's like one of the best offers you ever like worked on type of thing? Like one of your biggest ones?
Or like even industry?
Yeah, I'm actually curious.
Because I know that people got their secret sauce. Like I have a buddy who ran up like car insurance offers, for example.
I'm thinking like weight loss fucking
like 10K like net a day.
Mm-hmm. I would say it was definitely pet supplements.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. We've scaled that up to like, $500-600K a month recurring revenue.
Wow.
Dude, I've seen stuff where like fucking like horse tranquilizer. Is that like a thing?
I don't know, but I need one.
No, people love their pets and like,
so you get recurring on it too? Like if you so if you get a subscriber or some crap like that, that's pretty sick.
Yeah.
Well, that's definitely like the wave when it comes to e-commerce. You can't just be living off one-time sales, especially when everyone's
I know an affiliate they'll give you the subscription part of it too.
Yeah. Oh no, that was an owned offer. That was an affiliate.
What's up, New Money Talks fam? Quick one for our sponsors over at AdCopy.Ai. Tony Mastellone and his team have produced one of the most revolutionary marketing tools to date. called AdCopy.Ai. And what it does is essentially harnesses the power of AI in order to lead your acquisition systems and strategies for your marketing efforts, right? So whether you're selling physical products or digital products, it is much more tailored and targeted for marketers relative to something like a ChatGPT. And I want to really quickly show you how it works. So let's say my buddy's company, Javi Coffee, he wants me to run ads for his brands and populate ad copy. What I would do is I would come over to the AdCopy.AI Chrome extension. I'd click create Facebook copy and I'd provide some inputs, right? So this is the input category. So this is going to be javicoffee.com. Target audience are going to be young Starbucks addicts. And then, you can also have selling points populate directly from the product URL. And they have something called a creativity amplifier, which is really unique. So the more creative you make it, the more kind of obviously creativity they can pull into the copy. It might not be incredibly accurate for what it is that you're going to be selling. And so you have to kind of play around with the creativity amplifier, right? So if you make this very low, it's going to be a very cookie cutter response depending on your inputs, right? So it might be like regurgitated, but when you have the creativity amplifier up, it gets very, very creative and it can spit out some really cool outputs, right? So I'm going to go ahead and click on generate Facebook ad copy, and we're going to let AdCopy.AI do its magic. Boom. So we have elevate your coffee experience. Tired of the same old Starbucks routine? Meet Javi Coffee, your new coffee obsession. Crafted for true coffee lovers, our premium microdose coffee concentrate packs a punch of flavor and energy in every drop. This is so good. This is something way better than what I could do. Honestly, what any other human could likely do. And it generated that in seconds. And pretty soon they're going to have an update that directly imports this into your Facebook ads manager. So you don't even have to leave the platform, right? So shout out to Tony and the team over at AdCopy.AI. Definitely check out the link in our description if you're interested in getting this for you, for your brand, or for your agency. And make sure that you tell Tony or you tell the AdCopy team that New Money Talks sent you so you can get that New Money Talks discount. Now back to the podcast.
That was direct e-commerce for the pet subscription, which has been great. I mean, been running that for like 28 months now.
Wow.
Oh, slow runs. Damn.
Yeah.
That's pretty sick.
I like the idea of affiliate too. I never got too deep into affiliate marketing, but like when I started an agency, we naturally referred people to things like Hyros and Triple Whale. And like Hyros, if you get a big spender, Hyros will pay you like 30% commission on that. It's like you get a big spender who needs to fix their tracking and they're spending $4K a month on Hyros, you're getting a $1,500 a month check for having connected them one time. And so when you look at like there's companies like Go High Level, or I think I've heard of, where they have like the ability to replace multiple, multi-$100 a month tools all for like $300 a month. And you promote these different services that either save business owners money, whatever, and you're able to get a big commission on that. And you're also like building a high income skill because you're learning how to sell shit. So if you don't have shit to sell, then you can learn how to sell someone else's shit without like taking the risk of like running an agency, right? Because you don't want to run an agency having never run ads and then like ruin businesses that you're working with. You want to sell other people's products that like don't have any risk associated with it because you're not they're not paying you fixed. They're paying you based off commission. So unless you have an agency that's like commission based only, where it's like, oh, give me 10% of your profit, then I think affiliate makes a lot of sense as an entry point. And then from there's so many places you can go. Yeah,
without a doubt.
Jeez, I don't even know what else to ask. Dude,
what are your thoughts about real estate? Because I know like we've
do you have any real estate?
Not yet.
Like investing in any like, do you plan on doing that, or are you just like, I like the digital businesses and I like how not complicated it? Well, I mean, it has its own set of complexities, physical and digital, but.
Well, I mean, I like to put my time and attention towards what I know. So, John, you're into real estate, right?
Yeah.
So if you were to take, whether it's capital or time, 40 hours a week or $100,000, no matter what, I'm sure you could do better with real estate than I can because it's your wheelhouse. But if you give me a laptop and an offer to run, like I'm going to run that up and I'm going to have fun with it. So, I think it's 80-20. If you want to diversify, it's great to jump into different things, but that's not my core competency. I'm going to stick with what I know. And just based off of like the ROI, I'll never knock real estate. And I think it's great. I want to get there one day. But I'm not there yet. So, that's more things that I would reach out to other people or, allocate capital to other people that I know that can do better than me by way of, allocating that fund.
Yeah. And I think that's the difference between like you and those who are unsuccessful and that are doing too many things is they're like, I know if I can make money with it, I want to try it, but then they like try too many things simultaneously instead of sticking one thing out for like 18 months, 22 months, and just like figuring out a way to make it work. And then if you automate that and you free up time and you have capital, then you can get into like that next venture, that next business model.
So like, do you still have brands that run right now? Because like, going on with what he's saying, you still have brands and you're doing like AdCopy.Ai and all this type of stuff too. It's like you're building upon old companies and you still have companies running all that type of stuff, right?
Yeah. So more of the older stuff, we've either like exited, like I was in skincare for about 12 to 18 months.
Are these all like dropship brands or like?
It started out as dropship, but it was like, no, that skincare one was not dropship. We bought inventory and invested in that, and then got into subscription boxes, which was really, really good. And that just turned into like. There's
no way any of this is with Dan though. Like Dan does not do inventory.
No.
Yeah. Fuck. So like you know what you're talking about. Keep going. Sorry. Yeah. Dan's like an idiot. Keep going.
He's like, you're speaking my language.
Yeah, now you're speaking my language. You said subscription box. I'm like, all right. I own a 3PL. That's why I asked.
Nice. Yeah. So we ended up with a private label manufacturer. I paid some really big consultants from like P&G and got them on board to help develop a really good array of skincare products. And then I pushed forward with that for about a year, and then got into the subscription boxes, which is, solely, I don't want to say by luck, but it was just more of like tedious manual outreach. Like at that point, I was head down grinding. Like I would have my girlfriend at the time actually do like handwritten notes to influencers, right? So I was operating the company relatively lean, and I would reach out to influencers like, hey, like how much for a promoted post, whatever. And their PR team would get back to me. It was like $30K for a feed post, $15K for a story. And I said, okay, well, can you give me an address to send a gift? Do you have a gifting address? So I would get the actual person's address. I would have someone write a handwritten note, piece together a nice package to them, and say something meaningful about it. So it's not just like, hey, hope you like these products, whatever. Be like, love what you're doing with your recent jump to this sort of content. We thought you'd love these products because they'd work perfectly in your skincare routine. And then did that at scale. And those 15 and 30K quotes that we were getting from those influencers and PR teams ended up being free.
Damn.
And they would just post it out of pure reciprocity. Yeah. So being able to do that meaningful one-on-one contact at scale is one thing that I personally love, and I want to instill into any of my companies that I've built, and it's paid dividends for sure. So we got some good press through that, and ended up getting like 30K worth of posts for 100% free just because gave on the front end there. And that was like, all right, now we look like a legit brand. And I start reaching out to subscription boxes. I'm like, hey, did you see, so-and-so just posted about us, and how would you like to check out our products and feature you in your upcoming box?
5,000 units or whatever, and they put them inside their box.
We did 100,000 units with CauseBox. Yeah.
With who?
CauseBox, which is now rebranded to All True. So it was a women's curator.
They bought
box.
100,000 units.
Yeah,
that's
so we distributed our face scrub to 100,000 women throughout the country in their subscription box, and a lot of these boxes are typically. Like you got to pay to get in there. You got to know someone.
Yeah.
But just again, doing that one-on-one meaningful outreach at scale. Like I reached out to probably all by myself, not like VA type shit. Because you need to have a meaningful and potent outreach that someone knows it's not just like a copy and paste message. Because how many DMs you get offering you services and you're like, okay, fuck this. Like this means nothing.
What year was this?
This was 2020.
Okay, so like 2 years ago. Like now that I guess 3 years ago now. But yeah. Damn.
And then we got into there and we did a cost sharing where we broke even. They covered our cost to produce 100,000 units, distributed to all of their customers, and then all of them through word of mouth just started subscribing to our product.
Wow.
Really?
That's so smart.
You still have this brand or you sold this brand?
No, I exited.
You exited it. Damn. Why'd you sell it?
I didn't want to work on it anymore. I was kind of fed up with the situation, honestly. It wasn't the strongest dynamic in like team for me to move forward with, where I was like, I feel like I'm doing all the heavy lifting, so I kind of want to step out of this and do something different.
And how big was the brand?
I mean, we're doing like 6 figures a month.
Nice.
So it was solid, and a lot of it was just through organic and those subscriptions. So it was amazing.
So you weren't even like spending that much on Facebook type of thing. Like you probably were, but
so
like
it was tough on Facebook, and like I knew what we needed to do to cross that gap, but the situation and the dynamic in the company itself, I knew that I would have to do all the heavy lifting. So I was like, I'm going to step back. You guys close this out. I'm good.
Yeah.
Damn. And then that was one of the brands. Like, what other fucking brands you got? This is interesting. Did you like talk about this stuff? You don't like really. You don't really
No, not really. And I mean, Kyle's known me for a while. I feel like I'm more of a behind the scenes guy. I don't. You'll never see me like posting an Instagram story,
like a Shopify,
like myself talking to a fucking camera. Like I don't. I'm an introvert at heart, but like when you get to know me, I'll open up. But I'm not about that kind of stuff. So I like to stay more behind the scenes and just do the fucking work.
100%. That's why Dan likes you. I got it. This all makes sense now. This all is making sense. I'm like, dude, what? But now I get it. Yeah. No, I'm like, full respect. I know a lot of dropshippers that will never make that freaking jump until buying inventory. But then you can't sell the brand for anything. You know what I mean?
You have to have some conviction in what you're doing. Otherwise, it's forever going to be a hobby.
Yeah. That's such a move. Sell your product like to a subscription box. You sell like 100,000 units like that. How come you didn't make any money on that though? Like, how come you guys didn't strike a deal and be like, yo, I'll make like 50 cents a unit?
Well, I mean, think about the...
and how do they know what your cost is? Like, they don't even...
They don't. That's something I had to... Like, when you're at that scale, I mean, we're negotiating on cents. What they're doing for a cost share, because every cent counts. But when you think about it, it was a huge lift for us in marketing for free. So if I could break even on that, that's a win. People pay to have those placements. They will pay for the product and pay the box on top of that just to get in there and get the exposure to get their product in people's hands.
Oh, it's funny. You know, like Good Morning America, you can like go on like deals and steals. It costs so much. I think it costs like 20 or 30% of your revenue. And then you have to make your product half cost too. So if you sell it for $50 now, it's 25, and you have to give them 20% of the revenue.
Yeah.
But like people will say, well, like if I sell say 10,000 orders on GMA in a day, these customers will come back and like buy more, blah, 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 which is like kind of similar to like what you're talking about.
It's actually funny. I altered the product to make sure that we could break even on it. And I made up an excuse to the rep. God, I hope she doesn't see this. I was like, yeah, so our boxes for the skincare products, they were matte black. And I was like, so, you know, our boxes are going to get shaken up in there and they scratch up and don't look good. So we're just going to put it straight in the jar and, you know, shrink wrap the jar. The reason why I said that
you saved like 30 cents
is because it saved like $1 per unit.
Shit, there you go.
And when we're at 100,000 units, everything fucking matters. So I was like, you know, we just want to showcase our glass jar. And I don't think that the box looked good in there. But in all reality, it was like just getting closer to break even and making sure that we could make the deal happen. And it was tough because the receivable schedule was like, you know, 90 days. So we had to front a decent amount of capital to actually make it work, but we knew the ROI would be there.
Yeah. Damn. I know one thing you mentioned for like growing that and other things is gifting. And like we've heard a lot of people talk about gifting, whether it's like for like a service-based business or even just try to get like a job. They're like, hey, I want to work at this company. I'm going to write the CEO or head of HR or something, like handwritten notes, send them a bottle of champagne, like something that's like really small in the scheme of things. If 1 in 10 of those can actually convert into something meaningful. And like, I can't speak on behalf of John, but I don't think we do it enough. Like it's like
gift people.
Yeah, like think about it. If you have like a lead in the pipeline who's like, you know, because our clients can be worth 6 figures annually. So it's like if we have a lead in the pipeline and they're just like, I'm not really interested at this time. Maybe I'll reach out in a couple of months. Like you send them a bottle of champagne, a handwritten note, that could convert into an extra 6 figures a year.
I mean, it says a lot of who you are as a person. And I'm a big believer in how you do one thing is how you do everything.
Funny enough, no joke, the 2 people who I've sent bottles to of customers, they both left me as customers. So I've had bad luck with that one.
Send them the wrong bottle?
Dude, I got one guy like a bottle of Moet. Like I got another guy like a wine basket or something. Like,
I mean, it's pretty small.
Dom P.
You got no statistical significance behind that. You got 2 cents.
Oh my god!
Exactly. You need more volume. That's a shitty sample size. So it's like, you know, you can't base it off of that.
Or something.
But that's like bringing it back to the basics of like people, you know, get to 10K a month. They're like, all right, I'm doing the basics really well. And they're like, how do I get from 10 to 100K a month? They think it's something different, but it's like, no, it's really just doing more of the basics like well and at larger scale, more volume. Yeah.
Without a doubt. And that just compounds.
Yeah.
Because, I mean, your biggest marketing that you could possibly have, and the most valuable one is, you know, word of mouth. Once you can multiply that and like one person turns into 2, 4, that's what you need.
Do you have like a little group you do this with? Like obviously we said Dan, but like, is there any other people who you do this stuff with? Or is it just kind of like you do your own thing, like you find partners for every little thing?
Yeah. I mean, I feel like I have a good nose for finding situational partners where, you know, we align well. I have a good rapport with someone. I'm like, you know, we should probably tap into this just because you have strengths that complement what I have, or, you know, resources that you could bring to the table, and we can make things work. And I feel like being able to understand that and, you know, sort of swallow your pride and not lead with ego is really valuable, because 100% of zero is zero. I'd rather have a piece of something really big and meaningful that was done properly and can reach its true potential than try and keep everything of something that will never reach the heights it could.
Yeah, little bit of something's better than a whole lot of nothing.
So bingo.
Honestly, to teach the audience too, because like it seems like you're a pretty good operator, and like you have like really like what's the word like
Executional
like
management.
innovative ideas on how to grow businesses. What's your plan right now for like, if you want to talk about like AdCopy.AI, like what's kind of like the plan to get this thing to become like a real big player in the space?
So in my opinion, it's really more of depth than anything, and getting really, really good at one thing that you can deliver at scale. So even when we were developing the product, like at first we wanted to support Google, Facebook, TikTok, and just, all right, I want to serve everyone. Right? And be like, oh, we're better than Jasper, Copy.AI, all that. And it's great. Like, we've built a phenomenal base product, and in my mind, it'll never be good enough because I know the full product roadmap and where we're going. But it's all about baby steps and sort of just focusing and getting very laser focused on one thing specifically. So we narrowed it down to Facebook. So rather than trying to cast a wide net and speak to everyone, and let's say, I'll charge $5 a month and get 10,000 users, I want 100 people that I can charge, $1,000 a month.
Yeah.
Because I want to deliver really, really good value to people that matter and deal with them, because I like quality over quantity. So leading with baby steps, even like all the way down to the product development. Yeah, we could have served multiple platforms and like be pre-built to sort of like make ads for Google, TikTok, Facebook. Like, hey, we're the number one drop shipping software. No, I want people that are really good at running Facebook. And our next step is then, all right, Facebook Ads Manager integration. We sync up with all of your historical data. We get to see your KPIs across the board, and we're able to then fine tune a model around your brand. I'd rather serve, a $10 million company at a high level than serve, 1,000 drop shipping brands that are half-assed, because they're going to come and go.
Yeah. So I'm also interested because like people ask me this question a lot. Like they're like, oh, how'd you grow the 3PL? I'm like, oh, like sales. Like that's like my little line, sales. It's no bullshit. It's literally sales. But it's like everyone asks like, how do you get booked calls? That's the next question, right? Are you trying to do this as like a B2B kind of like sales play, or is this all just like run ads and like have people come to like what's your plan actually growing this thing? Is it like more partnership stuff? Like what are you trying to really do to build the company out?
So by way of growth, I'm not worried about acquisition, because I'm focused on product delivery. And once you can deliver a product at a impeccable level, you become undeniable. And no matter what, people will use it if you're delivering value to it, right? So exactly. If I could make sure that you're getting 30% more out of your spend based on revenue, then you're going to come to me and do business with me no matter what. So more than anything else, my sales is delivering something fucking great. And then from there, it'll grow on its own. And I mean, we have plenty of acquisitions.
What's up, New Money Talks fam? We just want to give a quick shout out to our sponsor, Scale Brands. This is a self-plug because this is my direct consumer marketing agency where we help D2C brands grow through paid advertising and brand growth consulting. And I can confidently say that we are among the best at what we do, because I've actually built my own brands to upwards of $1.7 million a month. I've built multiple brands to multi six figures per month as well. Very, very profitably, might I add. And we are specialists at helping brands grow. So if you are an e-commerce brand and you are looking to streamline your ad creative acquisition, you're looking to grow your paid acquisitions channels, and you're looking to be able to implement systems and frameworks that are backed by over 8 figures in profitable ad spend and close to 9 figures in attributed direct consumer e-commerce revenue, then Scale Brands is the agency for you. So again, if you run an e-commerce brand or you know someone who runs a direct consumer e-commerce brand, send them over to scalebrands.com and make sure that you tell them that New Money Talks sent you so you can get that New Money Talks discount. Now back to the podcast.
Acquisition channels, we know how to run paid traffic. We have partners, we have people that we know in our network that could help push it. So become inevitable is my growth strategy.
Yeah. Because I know Hormozy, he had his book and he prided himself on not spending a cent on advertising. And I think to this day, it's still like #1 bestseller on Amazon or Audible, one of those two things. But he did also like put his face in front of a lot of YouTube videos, and he put out a lot of content, talking about how he built his businesses, whatever. I know you said you're more like behind the scenes. Do do you like want to have someone like that for your company who can just get on social platforms and like be the face of it and like push it out? Or do you just want the product to be so good that it just sells itself and you don't think you'll need any of that?
I think finding the happy medium is the best bet. You know, you don't want to lean too far. I mean, if you're an extremist in any sense, I feel like it ends up biting you in the ass.
Yeah.
So, you know, if you could deliver a great product and you could find someone, that's why I said, like, I like situational partnerships. If I know you have strengths that I don't, like, we should break bread together. We should work together, because once we put that into coercion, it's going to work.
How do you build that trust part though? Because like I've done that too, or like I built the business with people who like, yeah, the strengths were there. They were skillful, blah, blah, blah. But like at the end of the day, it just didn't work out. Cause like, it wasn't like a trusting, but it was like, for example, my partner, I've known the kid since we were in the third grade. Mm-hmm. The second partner that I have is like him. I've known him since like the third grade. So it's like, we might not be the smartest guys in the whole entire world, but like, honestly, I'd rather have someone who I know just like, look, like I trust him. Like, do you care for that stuff? Like, you really don't care for that.
It depends how big of a play it is, you know, in all reality, and like what is your risk tolerance. But of course, you know, having that degree of trust is required. You know, you have to have some degree of trust in someone that you're building something with. But I'm definitely very picky when it comes to that. I'm not going to like team up with someone like, hey man, like let's go form an LLC. Like
literally,
let's go. No,
because there are people like that. You know what I mean?
Yeah, there are.
Like, oh, like LLC, and then next thing you have like 6 LLCs with like 7 different people, and you're like,
none of them are making any money.
And you don't know what the fuck's going on. You know what I mean?
Yeah,
people really watching this definitely have done that crap before.
And it sucks. And it's like the people that are doing that though, they're not leading with enough purpose. Like you're just taking shots in the dark at that point. And I feel like, again, it's over anything else. It's all about depth and quality.
Also, a big thing, you don't have to make an LLC for like the first like 4 months. No, like make $100,000 and then we'll make it like make $50,000.
Like
go make an LLC,
something like that.
Even like whatever. Just like go make some money first and then make a goddamn LLC.
Really.
Like you use your personal bank account. It's like
don't create problems that don't exist yet.
No, because you create a problem because like you think I'll have to like I want to start a business, then you do all the business stuff, and then you're in like a month and you're like, well, actually, like this doesn't work, and you're like, damn, I just like spent like $1,000 on making like LLC. I have a lawyer, I have an accountant. It's like, dude,
G-Suite,
you haven't even G Suite. I have a website with like this. It's like you haven't even started
developer.
Yet. You know what I mean? Funny enough, I still sell for my 3PL on my Gmail. I don't even have a company email. And honestly, I've had like one person push back in like 3 years on me.
Yeah, they're like, oh, you don't have a professional email. How do I know you're a scam?
Well, it's like, look, I have like, hey, look, I'll show you my cameras at my warehouse. Like, I have a big ass warehouse with a lot of pallets inside. I have like 70 brands I work with. Like,
you can't fake this.
Can't fake that. You know what I mean? Like a lot of that stuff where like people think it's like a logo. Like one thing that drives me crazy is fucking logo. It's like literally just like take a font. It's like, congrats, there's a logo.
Yeah.
If you're a big company in like 2 years, you can pay someone $500 to make it beautiful and nice and everything. You know what I mean? Like my biggest thing is like, those are the little things that just piss me off. It's like, just make some money. And then all the other stuff.
Especially now with like AI and shit, like all this stuff that people like care a lot about in terms of, you know, fine tuning like logos and shit. You can just have AI do it for you at some point.
Yeah, maybe it's getting more and more interesting. I mean, that's why I personally took a big bet on it. I think
that's crazy.
You're very good at catching trends. You and Dan both. You're very good at riding waves.
Another trend, actually, the NFT one. Do you want to talk about that too at all? Or?
Yeah, I mean, NFTs were dope.
NFTs were dope for like 6 months. They were sick.
They were
keyword
dope.
were. They've only been around for 3 years.
Were very key. Past tense. I mean, I started buying stuff. It was like summer of 21 or 22. When it started to like pick up real steam. And I mean, it was just like hard to miss if you were in there, like keeping the ear to the ground, like everything was going up. So just like flips off of like, you know, mutant apes, like doodles, whatever. It's like you were buying this stuff and like getting 3-4 times your money, getting in and out. And it was just automatic at that point.
That's so funny. You're just like, the 6 month period. Let's move them up.
Made some money, and you're like, all right, now I want to put this into a real business, right?
Do you do any stocks or anything, or not really?
I passively invest. I lead with too much emotion to be a trader. So like, I feel like I'm more of a deep on EQ wise. So like, I would get in my feelings if like something's like going up and down. Like I don't want to look at it. I'll put my money into like the index funds and like let that ride and whatnot. But I'm not here to like swing trade because I'd lose my mind.
100%.
So I know you've traveled around. Talk to me about some crazy travel stories, or just give me some good places you've been to. Give me some give me some travel recommendations, places I haven't been to. But I know you've been around, and you know we want to not only do we want to get some nice clips for the shorts, but we want to also know like
if you have anything like really crazy you want to talk about, just
we'll spitball some questions.
We'll have uncovered.
What's your thoughts on credit? Can you saw this on TikTok?
We'll ask that a bit. How many credit cards do you have? No, but for real, like where have you traveled to where you've had like just some crazy experiences?
I mean, the craziest week of my life was definitely last summer in Ibiza. Like my birthday celebration week was absolutely like bar none. I was literally like, and it felt like it was a dream. It was crazy.
Yeah.
It was not cheap, but
how much did you spend on it?
I mean, we were in over 100K for the week.
Jeez. And how many of you were there?
It was me, Dan, and Brandon, and another guy. But
that's like 25K a piece for a week.
Not everyone paid.
Yeah.
It was fun though. I mean, like literal unforgettable moments that I'll cherish forever. So definitely traveling is something that I hold dear to me, and like I'll never let that go. It's one of my biggest values. Like I want to see more of the world, and I feel like that's what makes you more of a well-rounded person, is meeting new people, getting uncomfortable, seeing like different cultures and everything. But by way of crazy locations, definitely Ibiza is like next level. That in Formentera was wild. Finally got to go to Croatia as well, where I have family, and that was really cool. Stumbled upon Ultra Europe by mistake while I was there. It was pretty fucking interesting, but it's definitely something that I love doing.
Yeah, I always find like it's kind of, I don't know, it's a little like either contradicting or counterintuitive, because for me at least, I work well in being location based, like my home base, my room, my office, like that's where I usually work the best. And when I'm anywhere else, like I can still perform, but I'm performing, at 50, 60, 70%, whatever.
Yeah.
And so like, I'm trying to find that middle ground personally of, can I work and have the high input and then be able to go and travel and not have to work as much and not need to be at that, 90, 100% capacity. Cause a lot of people, a lot of people I think have the same thing. Like when you work, when you travel, can you work as productively as you do when you're like at home base, when you're in the office?
If it's like a little bit more of longer travel and you could get settled in, then yeah. And I think that's the big thing. It's, how meaningful is that time going to be there? Like, are you trying to be there for 5 days and do as many things as you can? Or are you going to live like a balanced life equivalent to if you were being home, wake up, go to the gym, work out, and like.
Yeah, in Ibiza, you're not doing that shit.
No.
Yeah.
You're definitely not lifting weights. You're lifting other things, but.
Yeah. Cause I went to Europe for,
get that one.
I went to Europe for 2 months, and I same thing. It was like we'd go to a place for like 4 days, 5 days, and it's not enough to get settled and to actually be able to like work productively. But anywhere, like I went to Bali for like 2 weeks a couple of years ago, or like even Mexico, I'd be there for like a week and a half, 2 weeks at a time. And there you like, you get your desk, you get your little setup, like you're good to go. You don't need your monitor and all this shit. Like as long as you got your computer, you got a power source, you got a little ring light for your Zoom calls, you're good.
And the podcast.
And the podcast. Yeah. Gotta do the podcast. Gotta subscribe.
Yeah.
Make sure you subscribe. While we're here.
Yeah.
That's funny, man. Damn.
We need it for the sponsors.
Yeah,
Pump
really.
it. Pump it.
Yeah, pump it. We need it for the sponsors.
We got a lot of impressions this week. We got like
low key 10 million.
Like at least 15 million between Twitter, between Instagram. We had like 40K on TikTok.
Like funny enough, I had like random kids from college text me, be like, dude, what's going on? They're like, I found you. I saw your face on Twitter. Like there was like Twitter pages that were taking stuff from like TikTok and posting it on Twitter, and I was just like,
I'm like, oh shit.
Like, we got like 40K followers in like 3 days.
What would you guys say has been like your favorite part about starting the podcast so far?
Just meeting the people.
Conversation.
Yeah, just the conversation.
Like that we wouldn't have probably otherwise. Not because like if we really wanted to be persistent and like just sit down and have lunch with some of these people, like maybe we could have done that. But this is like such an easy excuse to speak to people and get their attention that you would have otherwise like not been able to get.
No, because funny enough, like high level people aren't gonna be like, hey, you want to get lunch? They're gonna be like, like, what do you want from me? You know what I mean?
Yeah,
when you say, hey, you want to come on my podcast? And like, by the way, I've had this person and this person on, they're like, oh,
yeah.
Like, I'd love
and
to
like you'll get exposed. It's like it's reciprocity, right? It's like you're not just coming on and like kicking it with us and like with random people. It's like we're gonna try to get you exposure, whatever products or services or businesses you have, and like we're also gonna get a great conversation out of it.
Literally,
Yeah, it's not hey man, let's get coffee so I could pick your brain.
Yeah,
no picking brains.
Fucking hate
we are
that
picking
shit.
brains, but like we're doing it
mutually.
politely.
We're gonna pick your brain. You're gonna like it.
You're gonna like it.
We're dissecting it.
Oh man. So what are you doing in New York?
Seeing old friends and having a good time and hanging out with you guys.
Hanging out with
That's
you
it.
guys.
Just a little weekender, but
Nice little reset.
that's it. Have some fun and get back to work.
What was the reasoning to move to Tampa and not come back to New York?
I went there for college initially and loved it and made really good connections. So after I barely graduated, moved back to New York for a bit and I just wasn't a fan. So went back to Tampa and kind of never left because then COVID hit. And when COVID hit, obviously there was really nothing to do in New York. And a part of me wanted to go to LA, but it just never came to fruition. So I was like, all right, where can I get the best quality of life? And at that time, it was Florida. You could actually do things, go out, not wear a mask. So I kind of just stuck there and it really grew on me and the city's grown. So I like it a lot. It's home for now. Definitely.
Another question about you, because you went out last night, right? I feel like you go out a lot.
I go out a fair amount. It depends. Like it's either 0 or 100 for me.
Well, I have a question. Like, how do you justify spending like $2K for no reason, or like $5K for no reason? Like we could do it. I never like. I'm never like, hey, like I'd love to. I'm excited to do this.
I wouldn't say it's for no reason. I mean, just trying to have fun.
Trying to have fun.
What's the point of working hard if you can't enjoy yourself, right?
No, of course.
So it was, going with the flow, following up from a good dinner. It's like, all right, what are we gonna do? Let's keep it going. So
why not, right? Yeah. When did you start like going out a lot in like New York and all this type of stuff too?
Oh man, I started to go out in New York when I was like 19, and had the worst Rhode Island fake ID. I mean, but the thing is, you grease anyone up with the C note, and you can do whatever you want. In all reality, like if you're spending enough, you could do it.
Yeah. If you're spending enough, they don't really care how old you
exactly.
are. Yeah. That's crazy. That's funny.
Yeah, as a matter of fact, I was at the club last night, and this girl's trying to have a conversation with me, and she was like, "How old are you?" And I was like, 26. How old are you? And she's like, 19. And I said, "Get the fuck away from me! How are you in here?"
Damn.
It's like someone checked the doorman, because clearly, anyone's getting in here.
That's crazy. Are you into like you say you're not into exotic cars and all that type of stuff, right?
I like cars, but I mean, I drive a Tesla. It's pretty. I do like watches. I think watches
kind
are
of watches
great assets. It's an AP offshore. I love it. It's great daily.
How many like nice expensive watches do you have?
Just a few, not
just a few.
I'm not like all the way into my depths of watch collecting yet. I've gifted watches.
Oh, you have?
Yeah.
What have you gifted?
I got my dad a Rolex last Christmas, which is cool. When I bought this,
very cool. You never like worry with these expensive watches, like go like this, smack something, crack it, and like
robs you.
Yeah,
I don't even care about robbing. I feel like I would break it myself. Like no bullshit. Like I would lose it.
Yeah.
I mean, I'm lucky enough to not like
knock on wood,
any of my watches yet or anything, but I mean, it's a part of the game. Like you wear it, and luckily they retain their value whether you wear them or not, if you're buying the right ones. But I mean, like I've gone jet skiing in this and like swim in the ocean, whatever. Like it is what it is. If something happens, like I feel like that goes for anything. That's like the same people that won't wear shoes because they don't want them to get scuffed. Like what's the point of owning it?
There are people who do that. Who like have Jordans and they just don't want to get them scuffed.
Just keep them in the box.
Keep them in the box. I used to have a basketball coach in high school. He had like 300 pairs of like Jordans just in the box still.
Oh, I mean, I had my sneakerhead phase.
Oh,
so I get that.
Yeah.
I had a big sneakerhead phase, but like that's when obviously I was just like making all my money went to that.
It's kind of funny now that you said that. I feel like there's like a progression in like people kind of like us where it's like first like selling candy, then you go into like selling sneakers, and then you find like Shopify. You're like drop shipping. You're like, whoa, maybe I should make a brand now. So you go into brand, and you're like, whoa, SaaS is actually a great thing. So we should do SaaS.
Agency.
So then the course, and they're like, whoa, YouTube.
It's like a ladder.
It's like a ladder, and then like
graceful progression.
And then you're like 30 and like you have like a Mercedes and you own a little real estate. It's like, all right.
I have a kid. Dysfunctional family.
Yeah.
What's next steps? What are you trying to do in like 10 years?
Yeah. What's your big goal until like you say until you're 30, 35 years old?
You want kids?
You're 26. So like,
I'm 26. Right now it's really just more of a building phase for me. So I just want to get as much capital as I can. So I want to build my company, and obviously I'd like to have a graceful exit at some point, a nice liquidity event there, and then probably get settled down, have a couple kids, carry on the name. But that's really it.
Yeah.
Is there a number
of Kids or money?
No, money. Fuck the kid. The kids.
Fuck them kids.
The number.
A number. I mean, I don't know if I'll ever be satisfied, but we got to be in the 8-figure range for sure.
Yeah,
100%. Yeah.
Especially on the exit.
yeah.
And you got to worry about taxes. Whoever pays those.
That's a mess. You slash over here.
Fucking taxes.
Oh, man. Do you keep up with any of like the? Obviously, you're friends with one of them, but like these YouTuber like guru kind of guys, like not gurus, but like like the Jordan Welshes of the world, like Iman, like Sebastian, these type of guys, like. Or you just do your thing.
Not really, because I mean, I'm not at the point in my career where I need to really sit on YouTube. If anything, like I'll indulge in a good podcast. Like Alex Hormozi's shit is fucking phenomenal.
Yeah.
I love his content. It honestly has really like broadened the horizons, and a lot of the stuff that he's able to get across in like even short snippets of content is really profound and helps me think a little bit differently. My biggest thing is, like Iman and Jordan and all them, like they kill it and they're great content creators. They give a lot of value. That's just not where I'm at. I like to just obviously learn from all these people, but like I like meaningful conversations one-on-one. So like I'm not trying to seek like the tweak to my business through a YouTube video. I like to sit with people that own like a private equity fund and get lunch with them and understand what's going on in their mind. What are their problems? How are they solving them? And also where is their head for the future and stuff that I could learn from them to not make the same mistakes they did. Yeah. So a big thing that I like doing is hanging out with people that are older than me.
For sure.
I've gotten it a lot. It's like, oh, wow, like, your friends are a little bit older than that. Like, they have kids, they have, sold their businesses. And I was like, yeah, because that's who I aspire to be around. You're literally, the definition of who you are is the people that you surround yourself with.
100%.
You're a byproduct of your environment, without a doubt. And if I could surround myself with absolute killers that have done things that I want to achieve and more, I want to learn from them, because taking meaningful pieces from each one of them will get me to where I want to be.
Yeah. Like there's very little that we've learned from like 24-year-olds, 23-year-olds. It's just like, if you want to do something, or if you're on the route to do it, find someone who's actually traveled that road already.
But it's funny though, because even like on these podcasts, we're hanging out with like Ron from Avi. I don't know if you know Ron from Avi. Like he's like probably like 30 type of thing.
Yeah.
He was just like spitting fire at us, and we're just like a sponge. Like he's like, hey, like, did you think of this? And we're like, no, didn't. He's like, well,
make a Facebook group, nurture your community.
He's like, make a newsletter, like take the podcast and just like take audio and make it into text. And next thing you know, you have more sponsors, spots, stuff like that, like more exposure. I was like, whoa, that's like genius. And then he's like, well, here's another guest you can talk to. Like all these like higher level, like older guys, like you learn a lot. Even like Dan, like when Dan was here, I was looking at him, I was like, yo, Dan, I thought you were an idiot before I sat down, but like you're actually mad smart. Because he was saying some crazy stuff. He's like, yo, like there's like mad opportunity like in this space, like look at it like this. And I'm like, oh shit, like you're kind of like you're saying like the media content space, for example. There's like that one big one that like they sell like newsletters for like $1,000 subscriptions. I forgot the name of the company.
Morning Brew.
Well, it was like it's like a big version of Morning Brew. I forgot the name of the company. But they own like maybe like 50 different newsletters, and like each one is like $1,000 subscription to like be a member of each one. And they have like these elaborate funnels and all this stuff. Yeah, Agora, exactly. Agora Financial. And I was like, damn, I didn't even think that there was a type of money in the media space.
Yeah.
But it's kind of like e-commerce. It's like it's a whole funnel. It's like a digital product. It's the whole same thing over and over again. But like you hang out with these smarter guys and like, oh damn, like I get it. And if you can't hang out with these guys, just watch a podcast. Like you said, Hormozi. Yeah. You never hung out with Hormozi. I don't think you have. But
no,
you can like gain a whole bunch of knowledge from the guy. Yeah, not yet. Exactly.
Yeah.
Like even with his little snippets, his wife is like a baller too.
Yeah.
She kills. You know what I mean? So it's like that's how you get smart. That's how you level up. Like I'm sure you get nuggets to grow your brand and stuff like that too. So so it's definitely far like that. Yeah. This conversation ended pretty solid.
Yeah.
We brought it somewhere decent. We're all dead, but we brought it pretty decent.
Yeah.
Nice. We're up to 45 or 50 minutes. What is it up to?
53.
Yeah. 100%.
It's always good sitting down and chatting.
Yeah, just be able to shoot the shit a little bit.
Yeah.
Is there any like controversial stuff you want to talk about?
You know what I wanted to ask you about that was on the tip of my tongue was the TikTok ban. Have you been seeing this shit? Like, because like we're only on TikTok because we have to post TikToks for like the short form content to grow this podcast. Yeah. But otherwise, we're like we're not really the TikTok consumers. But like we've been seeing some of the shit with like the Congress people. Yeah. And it's honestly very concerning how disconnected these like 67-year-old Congress people are with like reality of data, of social media, of like all these different things. And you have to think like they're implementing policies that are based on things that they grew up with 40, 50 years ago. And it's like, but it's almost concerning on where like the US is heading based off like administrative. And that's a whole different conversation. But what's your opinion on like the whole TikTok ban? Like, you think TikTok is like a net positive to people or like a net negative?
I mean, you know what you sign up for. Like, nothing in life is really free. There's a catch everywhere. Like, you are serving and like reciprocating somewhere, whether you're, you know, a click or a piece of revenue, attention, there's always a cost, right? So when it comes to TikTok, like if you're unsettled about it, then perhaps don't use it.
Yeah, delete that.
So it's very, very simple. You know, like if you're not happy about it, I would avoid it. But, you know, if you're crying about, oh, my data is being shared or they're exploiting this, that, well, don't fucking use it.
Yeah.
This is going to be good for the clips. What are your thoughts on the Chinese tracking, you know, like US people through TikTok though?
I mean,
like, are you scared of the Chinese?
I'm scared of everyone. Are you kidding me? There's more than the Chinese tracking everything. So they're not my biggest concern. They're across the pond. So like, I'm worried about whoever's tapping into fucking WhatsApp and Telegram and all that shit. Like, trust me, everyone's being tracked.
Oh, 100%.
I mean, what better way to corrupt an entire society than to promote the content that fries people's brains? Like half naked girls dancing and like people doing stupid challenges.
That's full of Instagram. That's just Instagram 101 right
and
there.
TikTok.
But
like, what better way to absolutely corrupt an entire society than to tap into
just
social media?
They just want you to be easy to program.
Yeah.
Part of the matrix.
Yeah.
Part of the matrix.
And the algorithms are fucking nuts. And the amount of data points that people feed them with how fast you can scroll now, how many posts you interact with, it's crazy. And same thing with like the political, like I 100% understand like some of the takes in terms of pushing like political agendas and things like that, because all of social media is, whether it's intended to or whether it just happens out of coincidence, it divides people. Because if you interact with a right-wing, you know, fucking social media post, you're going to get a shit ton more like Republican and right-wing based shit. And it divides people because like no one gets an even amount of exposure to just like realities. And even if you look at news networks, you know, you're getting fed one type of shit.
Oh yeah, people are subconsciously being fed into like their own thought processes and biases, like, and they don't even know it.
Yeah.
You know, when that's all you're exposed to, like let's say right wing, left wing, you like one thing, it just keeps feeding you more to keep the dopamine, keep you on the platform. Like they're trying to keep you there for a reason, and they're going to keep feeding you the shit that you like. So, I mean, the big thing for me is, by all means, do not become an NPC.
Yeah.
What the hell's an NPC?
You don't know what an NPC is?
No, what is it?
Non-playable character.
I was like video games.
Yeah, so
our 8th graders are talking about it. Our
that's what I heard.
We coach.
It's like the thing in the background, right?
It's like if you walk down the street right now, there's probably like some dude crossing the street right now. There's no way he's real. Like, you think he goes home and has a family and like no, he just recharges and walks back outside. Like,
nice.
Come on, like
he's a part of the simulation.
He's programmed to say like 3 different sentences. Like if you go up to him and be like, "Hey,
hola, cómo está? Todo bien?"
Hey, you took it to a different place, brother.
But no, it's just like, you know, think for yourself and limit your social media usage. You know, like how often are you on social media?
Probably too much.
All day.
Yeah.
Everyone is.
I think it's a bad habit of like, even if you're standing in line somewhere, it's like, all right, well, gotta take out my phone.
Time.
Might as well refresh fucking Instagram. See, like, it's all about discipline, honestly. I even set like limits on certain apps and everything. Another thing that I've really gotten into lately is like locking certain apps at certain times of the day so that you don't end up like uncontrollably binging like TikTok, Instagram, etc. So setting those boundaries for yourself so you're a little bit better controlled.
Yeah, I'm going to give everyone who's watching right now an absolute hack if you want to reduce your screen time. Turn your phone to black and white. Ooh. It will make you never want to open your phone, scroll through social media, because you feel like you're living in like a movie from the 30s and there's just no like life to it. Mm-hmm. But when you go on TikTok, it reduces like your dopamine sensitivities and all this shit. And you're just like, I don't want to use this. Like, my friends will look at my phone and be like, why the fuck is this black and white? Like, they get frustrated. And it's like, because they're not getting the fucking dopamine rush that they usually get on their phones. And I'm like, try it for like a week. If your screen time is like 5 hours, 6 hours, like, and you want to get it down to like an hour or 2, just switch your phone to black and white. That's all you got to do.
I guess we're all crackheads and we don't even know it.
Yeah.
Oh, he likes to ask this stupid question I'm going to ask this time. It's like, what's your morning routine look like? You do any like cold showers and meditation and stuff?
One thing that I actually tried is funny that we're talking about phones. One thing that I tried is to like not look at my phone for the first 20 minutes of the day and just like step outside of my balcony.
Did it work?
Luckily being yeah, I feel like I start my day with a lot more clarity.
Yeah.
Rather than just like rushing to, see what's going on in Slack. What's the team doing?
Yeah.
What are our numbers at today? Like just take a second to like let your brain load. You know what I mean?
Don't be an NPC.
Don't be an NPC, exactly. And just waking up and going at my own pace. I'm really not too structured in the mornings. Just like check my stuff, get to the gym, and that's really it. I'm not cold plunging, not yet. I've tried the cold showers, dipping a toe in. So we're gonna get there one day.
Yeah. I have my triple B morning routine now.
What's
that I promote.
What's the triple B?
You got to first stimulate your brain, then you got to stimulate your body, then you got to stimulate your bank account. So like you wake up. Like,
I was waiting for a different B.
So, but hear me out. You wake up like the first thing you do instead of like scrolling through fucking Instagram, like you read like 5-10 pages of a book or something. You stimulate the brain. You get your brain going. Like you wake up. Then you like get a little bit of exercise going. You stimulate your body. Then the final one, you get to work. You stimulate the bank account or your bank balance or whatever you want to make that be. That's what I've been doing. Cause I think I tried like to wake up, like go, straight to the gym, like not do anything like mentally stimulating at all, or like just wake up, get straight to work. And I just find like when I just wake up early, I beat the clock, get a nice workout in, read a little bit, not be on my phone. Like as soon as I wake up, I just find I have a better day.
What time do you wake up? Because I know he wakes up at like 6 in the morning. What time do you get up?
No, I'm not a 6 a.m. guy. I promise you that.
Like a 10?
Yeah, honestly, I really like waking up whenever my body's kind of ready to. But I mean, now that we're really in growth mode for the company, I'm probably not going to be able to do that anymore. Not living
a little more structure.
The degen approach, a little bit more of like a 7-8 o'clock guy. But when I'm off peak, I'd say like 8-9 o'clock, just wake up on my own.
For sure. That makes sense.
That's one thing about running all these companies. It's like we all kind of started in the more like savage space, as you had explained it, kind of like, like drop shipping e-commerce, when you can wake up on like a Wednesday at noon, not know what time it is, wake up to like $500, $1,000 a day in profit, whatever. And you're just like those are great. But then when you want to build like a real company, like you need structure. Like you're
not the only person anymore.
Yeah.
Like that's what you got to focus on. So, I mean, I have developed like my partner, he's in Australia right now. Right. So the time difference is huge. Like when he's waking up, like I'm going to bed and vice versa. Yeah. So I got to be more attentive. I'm like, fuck, I got to wake up at 7 so we could have at least a meaningful conversation before we have a 12-hour gap and reconnect again so that I can go do my side of the business. So I think, just by default, once you're building bigger things, you need more structure to adhere to everyone else that's in the room, because you can't carry it all by yourself.
Yeah. 100%. Yeah.
That's a good place to wrap it up.
Oh, man.
Tapping out.
Dude, I've been like laughing my ass off on some of these things. There's no structure at all to this. There is a structure. Usually just like, hey, who are you? Give me your story. And then we just go.
See where we go.
It's been good. Honestly, there's only been one. The one before you, which kind of was a shit show. Full shit show.
Oh, yeah.
But it's because the kid was like 15.
He's 17.
He's like famous as hell. So
he has like 800K on YouTube, but like he just doesn't have any life experience, So like when you talk to him, he's like, I don't know, what do you want me to say? It's like I don't have a lot to talk about. Yeah. He just like his brother put him onto YouTube, scaled a really big YouTube channel, and
like I make like 40K a month. Like
he's like, I'm about to buy a car. Like I dropped out of high school, but he's just like, we're like, what do you do all day? He's like, I just like chill. Maybe I'll film.
I'll post like one video, maybe 5-minute long.
Like we were trying to give him some advice, but like I don't even think he was in a position to like be able to take our advice and like actually be able to absorb it and understand it and then apply it. But that was interesting. All the other conversations have been like, even that one, there's a couple of things that we can get out of it, whether it's clips or whatever. But we've had very interesting conversations. It's just like, it's good to sit down and sometimes you need the longer conversation to get, whether it's like for fucking social media or like for us, like to get the nuggets. A lot of times it's like we'll probably take 5 minutes of this hour-long conversation we had, apply it to our businesses, and like add 100,000, 200,000 a year, something like that to it. And it's like those little things you can pick out of longer conversations.
100%.
For sure.
Where can people find you if you even want them to find
social media, if you want to link AdCopy.Ai, if you want to get a little promo code going. We got a lot of e-commerce guys.
We're paying full price.
All right. We'll just Go to
trial.
Tony.
Free trials
Say
a
New
week.
Money Talk sent you, and maybe he'll change his mind.
Exactly. All right.
Here's meant for what?
Offering a little discount or something.
Oh yeah, you got Tony. Come on.
No, if you DM me, I'll hook you up, of course.
Yeah.
But I like having meaningful conversations with people that like actually give a shit about certain things.
Yeah.
And I mean, even like when we were talking about connecting with people at scale, like we built a pretty significant wait list before the product launch, and we use Go High Level. So like for our CRM, and someone was texting me, it was like, how much should I set aside for capital to invest in this? And I was like, we have a free trial. You have nothing to worry about.
Yeah.
And we end up going back and forth. And I'm like, I'd really like to know where your head is at to understand like what this person is thinking about. And I booked them with a one-on-one demo the next morning. So I think one big thing that if you're ever trying to build anything meaningful is like, don't get too big-headed or think that like that stuff doesn't matter. And like even our conversation here today, like I'm sure that there's something that someone could take away from it and it'll apply to them. Just like stay consistent and do the basics right. And like it'll tremendously pay off.
100%. What's your IG and your Twitter and your YouTube and your phone number and your Gmail? And your
Social.
Yeah, no, whatever you want to share.
We'll link the main ones,
below.
the top 2 or 3. So just check them out in the description wherever you're listening or watching this from. And
then from our end, you should do it this time. You do it this time.
What do you call it? The gentleman's agreement.
Yeah, very important.
So my first million. Right?
Yeah.
They do the gentleman's agreement. So since we provide all this immense and amazing value for you completely for free,
amazing guests,
all that we ask in return is not only check out his social medias, follow Tony, check out AdCopy.Ai because it's actually like a really awesome tool. I've used it, but
thank you.
Also like, comment, subscribe, push this in the algorithm because a lot of people need to hear this conversation. And a lot of times the shit like the women shaking their asses half naked that gets promoted, but the stuff that people need to hear and see, it doesn't. So help be a part of like the positive side of social media.
If you got this far, you definitely should be subscribing.
Oh yeah.
Kyle's not going to start shaking his ass. I hope not.
No.
Kyle has.
And maybe if you're lucky, maybe on OnlyFans.
Maybe get somewhere nowhere.
We'll see that.
But we'll catch you guys in the next one.
Thank you.